Okay, so come and join us. We're going to be doing some video all the way down the beach and from the lighthouse all the way back. Well, we're going to cover as much of the beach as we can. And we were out here the other day, the day after Hurricane Milton, and the lighthouse looked incredible. I've put some footage here now. There was not a footprint on the sand. The waves had left these really cool indents in the sand, and just incredible force of nature. You could see all the bushes that had just been blown one way, and yeah, it's just looked kind of like a moonscape. It's really cool, but you'll see from the video that we're putting down now. Hello everyone, Nick here. Before we get to the main video, as you know, Sanibel Island and the surrounding areas have weathered some storms recently with Hurricanes Ian, Helene and Milton. You'll see in this video that salt water has temporarily discoloured a lot of the vegetation. Don't let it put you off. Remarkable progress has been made, and I want to take a moment to personally invite you to come back to Sanibel and our sister island Captiva. Our beautiful beaches, charming shops and amazing restaurants are open and ready to welcome you. These islands have so much to offer, and your support means the world to our community as we rebuild. Let's keep the spirit of this paradise alive. We hope to see you soon. Fortunately, it would seem the sand erosion isn't that much closer than it was before, although it's not great. It's not too bad. You can still see 20 yards, I guess, over towards the other way. Okay, and let's start our journey at the lighthouse, heading on down. Okay, so you can see the parking lot was completely covered in sand the other day. I'm not sure if they've done anything to alleviate that. Let's take a look. Now it looks like we've still got a lot of sand on the beach there. A lot of sand, sorry, in the parking lot there. None of the parking's open yet, so the only people on the beach are going to be walking or coming by boat. And as you can see, we've got a few boats out today. Pretty sure this is Shell Island Beach Club, and it hasn't opened from Hurricane Ian, so it's been closed approximately 2 years. As have a lot of these resorts. But the thing we were looking for more than anything is that hopefully they didn't go backwards in as far as their recovery goes. And so far so good. It doesn't look like they did. From our personal perspective, Hurricane Helene, about 3 weeks ago, we had approximately 4 to 5 feet of storm surge, and on Milton we had a couple of inches more, but we prepared very well. We had sandbags in place, and I think from what I've heard from most people on the islands, everybody did a similar thing. And everybody took this storm very seriously. So although there were our homes and we got friends that had their homes flooded, there was a lot of people that did flood in Ian that did not flood during Milton or Helena. You see we're still on East Gulf Drive here. That building in the middle, I believe, is the Kinsey Island clubhouse there, or beach clubhouse. Still some empty lots waiting for rebuilds. And then there's some that look pretty much unaffected. Let's come back out on the beach a little bit, give you a view of the water. See, the beaches are very quiet. There's Sanibel Arms West and Sanibel Arms here. Again, I'm not sure if either of them actually opened up after Hurricane Ian. They were getting ready to. Feel free to pause this at any time. Some of these buildings look remarkably untouched, which is great to see. Okay, and there is the beach access. You can see where the water came back off the island and flooded out through these flow points. And the water comes back at an incredible pace. It happened during Ian. We photographed for the city, or we did drone photography for the city, and the one thing that stood out was the amount of the speed in which the water left the island after it had flooded, and it cut all these. It's coming up to Sundial here, I believe. Yeah, we got Sundial here. Cut all these channels in the beach and in the sand where the water just came out in a complete torrent. And the same on our house. I think we had about 18 inches inside, but on the outside the water was a lot higher, so it tends to suggest that it came out, the water receded before it even had a chance to fill up everywhere else. So Sundial did an opening day the other day. It looks like they did an open day to the public. Looks like they're getting back ready again. I think they did say that they were hoping to get open by the weekend. They just reopened literally just right before the storm. They had their first day reopening, and then the storm hit again. So here you can see these, what I was talking about, some of the different shapes from they're cut out in the sand there. A lot of sundial not in action, obviously. You can see from these. Still a lot of sand on the roadways and in the resorts. So we're heading up Middle Gulf Drive now. That one's mainly private condominiums. Did fairly well from the storm because it is raised up a little bit from the Hurricane Ian, although there was damage, but you can see the ground floors are relatively unused. Mainly privately owned, these ones. I think 80% are privately owned. There's only a few that are actually rentals. I've been informed that I'm actually pronouncing, I was calling it Hurricane Helena. I can't even remember what I was calling it, but apparently I was mispronouncing it. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about, where you see these big swathes and cutouts where the water comes rushing out again. Quite clearly you can see how it's cut its way out the beach, and it will just come in between the buildings. And you can see by the vegetation, it's a bit hard to tell with this, but you can see from the vegetation when you're up close how quick that was going. I mean, it's all laying over in the same direction that the water travelled. So coming in relatively slowly, but once it decided to go back out, it was booking it. And I know Hurricane Helene, or Helena, I know it stopped about 12:30 a.m. We just resigned ourselves to, there was nothing else we could have done at that point. We were about an inch away from, and at 12:30 a.m. it all of a sudden started going back down. So here we've got Algiers City Park. None of the parking is available at the moment. None of the beach parking is open, but could change on a daily basis. So these guys haven't opened yet, but are planning to very soon. So where have we got to the end? And here you go, we can see Sanibel here. Should make it easier for people to get served because it's actually going to be okay. Let's give us a look down the beach from Sanibel here. Okay, so we're at Tarpon Bay Road. We're going to head down towards, back down to Sanibel where we just left off. Still all part of Sanibel there. Not all of these condo units are rentals. There are some residential ones down here. It's actually a lot easier to see from the TV screen or the monitor after you have filmed than it is from this little screen, but you can see Point Santo there. This is what I was talking about. This is where you can see the water has eroded everything down this beach access, and it's actually eroded the sand away to about 2 or 3 feet all the way down here. You can see that riverbed channel that's coming through there. Good example of how it just came straight down here. Anyway, keep going, let's keep going. Heading up on West Gulf Drive now. Just went past Tarpon Bay Road. And a lot of residential units here. And you're going to see some empty lots where some of them have been completely, like this one here. Some of the resorts have been completely pulled down and are awaiting rebuilding. And a lot of empty pools and things like that. Let's come back away a little bit there. Some familiar sites there. Still a lot of them waiting to open, waiting to get completed. I think it's hard to understand the scale of the reconstruction until you break it down like this and you just count the windows, count how many, you know, it's taken us a year to get our house put back together after Ian. These resorts have got 20 rooms, maybe 100, plus all their lobby areas and everything. It's really unbelievable what they've done already, but kind of in the same breath, you can see there's still a long way to go. A lot of residential units here. Lots of debris on the beach, as there is after every storm, not just a hurricane. This one will look familiar to you. It's the Island Inn. They've got a couple of buildings open and you'd have to check with them to see. I know this one was built post Hurricane Ian, and I believe that one at the far side, and the one on the far left I don't believe is open. That one there that's in the middle, but they do have the other buildings open. And look at that, it's nice to see some deck chairs out. And there's even a couple of people enjoying the beach. Always great to see. But anyway, we're going to be going down towards the end of West Gulf Drive. I'm not going to go too much further. There really isn't much apart from residential stuff past this point. That's Sunset Sanibel, I believe. So we're going to go down here as far as we can and The only thing past here is Blind Pass condos. They're not open yet, and Bowman's Beach, and both of which are closed, so I wouldn't be able to stop there to park to fly from. So with that being said, we'll just go down here and see what we can get. Now you see it turning into a lot of residential areas. There's a lot of positives to come out of this. I don't think it's all negatives by far. We were really worried that the hurricanes that just passed were big, very, very big. I mean, they were in the top 10 of storms in this area since 1965. Hurricane Ian was number 1. And Milton was number 2. And Helena, however my wife would like me to pronounce it, was number 3. So we've had the top 3 storms in this area over the last 2 years, since 1965. An incredible fact. And Hurricane Charlie's in that top 10 too. I'm not sure which number it was at. It was up there too, and I was here for Hurricane Charlie and for Irma, and that was in the top 10 too. So the last few years, last 20 years particularly, have been pretty devastating all round. We got to think about those people up in Sarasota that took the brunt, Manatee Key, north of here. The famous fishing huts that are out in Pine Island Sound, unfortunately 2 of those have gone. And Usepa Island has its dock torn apart, which is very unfortunate. The T-dock to actually get on the island, and the actual marina dock is there's pillars there, but there's no way to get on it, so not good. And there's also another cut been carved out in the pass. You had Charlie Pass in Upper Cap, and now we have another pass that's cut through the middle of Upper Cap, just slightly further along from Milton. So the evolution of barrier islands still carries on. Lots and lots of residential stuff here, so probably getting to the end of our time here. Thanks very much for joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe. We're going to be putting out more content in the future, and the only way you'll get notified of it is if you subscribe and hit the notification bell, and that way you will be notified whenever we post. Also check out the Sanibel Captiva guide, the actual web page. Lots of useful information there. Laurie, my wife, does a great job of keeping up to date records of the businesses that are open. We're turning around now. We're going to head back. Laurie does a great job of keeping up to date records of the businesses that are open, the resorts that are open, the parking that's open, the beaches, anything that you want to know about the islands and beyond. Fort Myers Beach, downtown Fort Myers, all that area. We have info on there that's constantly evolving and constantly being updated, so make sure you check it out. And we've also got the Facebook page, the Sanibel and Captiva Islands Original, in brackets, and that's our group actually. And then we have a Facebook page, the Sanibel Captiva Guide. If you follow that, I think maybe 30 something thousand followers there, so check that out. Anyway, it looks like my batteries are low, so I better sign off. We'll speak to you very soon. Thanks very much.